Do you find yourself searching through your fabric stash for the perfect coordinates? Do you strive to be more confident in your color combinations? If you answered yes or just love fabric, then a subscription to GEasy Color Club is for you. GEasy Bundle Club is a quarterly subscription program with carefully curated fabric bundles by me sent right to your doorstep. I handpick every fabric in each delivery with 12 half-yard pieces, which will only be available to GEasy Bundle Club members. In addition to an exclusive Stash Builder bundle, each delivery includes a booklet of information on the fabrics I have chosen, the fabric designer, additional fabric suggestions to use with a bundle, and quilt patterns that would be a perfect pairing with the fabric. Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to our live show, Tipsy Tuesday. Hi, everybody. You might notice something a little bit different. Welcome to Tipsy Tuesday live from Studio B. Surprise, surprise. Thank you for being here, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new around here and watching us on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, make sure you like our page and sign up for notifications. Then you will never miss a show. It'll just pop up right when you need some quilting therapy, right? Now, stick around, stay with us. At the end of the show, we will give you a giveaway question. You have the opportunity to win a $25 gift card. And of course, we like interaction, so thumbs up, talk amongst yourselves and to us via the chat. We love it. So let's get into it. It's Tuesday, and yes, we are snuck down to Florida just a little bit. Say hi to Mr. HP. He's here. He's here. Hi. Say Mr. Hi. We decided to bop on down to Florida right after your fantastic show on Saturday. He had a very successful show with his show. Men of Motown.
The Men of Motown.
Then the Men of Motown.
The Men of
It's
Motown.
a tongue twister a little bit.
Yeah. Featured some great artists from Motown. Marvin Gaye, Smokey Robinson.
It was a fabulous show.
Stevie Wonder.
Yes,
The Four
we
Tops.
actually invited the GE crew. Now, not everybody could make it, but quite a few of us had a blast. We were dancing, singing along. Do you have a photo of
Where's
the
that
whole?
photo? Yeah, let's get
Oh,
that
yeah,
photo.
that's some of us waiting in the lobby. So it was really a great, great time.
There's the crew.
There's the crew. Yes.
Let me show you a couple little highlights.
Yes, highlights of the show. It was spot on. So 5 singers, right?
5 singers, dynamic singers from Minneapolis.
All dressed to the nine and had their steps together, as of course.
Gotta
with
have
any
the steps.
show of yours, they gotta have the steps together. That just adds so much to the show.
Yeah, no one's doing that these days.
No.
And
And
the
there he
drummer.
is,
The rock and roll drummer right there.
the man literally behind everybody, but behind the whole show too.
Yeah. Just hiding in the back.
Yes, so 2 shows were both sold out, right? On Saturday at
Both
the
shows
Dakota Jazz
at the
Club.
Dakota. Yep, it was great.
But it was kind of like both the owner and some others were in awe of the show, right? Saying it was the best one.
They were like,
I've
this
been
is
there.
the best show we've had in 15 years.
Wow.
So what has people been doing here for 15 years?
And then we were rehearsing at the Chanhassen Dinner Theater, and the owner wants you there
Yeah.
because he was stunned how good you were.
He came in and was like, what is this going on here? We need to have you here at this.
And
this
so
venue."
aren't you or working on that for
Next year, March.
next year? So if you missed it at the Dakota, you can catch it again in March.
Mhm.
In March. That means you're going to be in Minnesota in March.
In and out.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, I have a great show for you. Oh, we have a great show for you today. I am going to give you lots of photography tips for photographing your quilts. That's going to be my tip of the day. Also got some fabulous fabric for you. And so please stick around and comment. Now, I wanted to say we also went out to dinner. We took Svan out to dinner. We missed her birthday. She had to come down to school before her birthday was this past week. So she got a second birthday dinner with us last night. We didn't take a picture of us, but we went to this really awesome Italian place here called Banu.
Yeah.
And we took a picture of our drinks, as this is my main focus as I photograph when I'm out to dinner. So everybody has to have different drinks so we can all try them. Mine was the short glass was kind of like a jalapeno infused version of a margarita, but with really unique flavors.
Mm-hmm.
And then Svana had the pretty one, and that was kind of a strawberry
Unique name. What was
basil. Oh, no, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember the names, but yours was probably
the most delicious?
the most delicious. Svana's was called Tipsy Gypsy.
It's like Tipsy too.
So it was like a peach and pineapple juice, lemon juice, and then some Campari. And then yours was a tiramisu martini.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my, now that's a good one. I'm definitely going to kind of try and replicate that one.
Delicious.
I mean, it's just kind of, if you don't like a full-on espresso martini coffee, there's a little bit of coffee flavor, just like I like it. And then there was chocolate and kind of really nice richness. There was a little bit of Di Serono, which I love, which is almond liqueur, and it's Italian. So I'm going to work on that one. I'm going to work on that one for everybody.
What about this guy right here?
Well, this guy, he is at home, obviously missing us. He's hugging his monkey.
I got my monkey.
When is mommy and daddy coming home? He looks like he's chilling in GEasy's bed right there. He goes to work every day, though. He's at GE, loving the attention, of course. But, yeah. He's funny about that. All right, let's start with announcing our winner from last week. I asked the funniest question. This was really, I loved all your answers. That was just entertaining reading it all. I said, what has been the biggest mess you have had to clean up in your kitchen? And yeah, it was insane answers, like insane. Somebody talked about like back in the 70s, they had carpet in their kitchen. I can't even imagine having kids and having carpet in the kitchen.
Drum roll, please.
Our winner is Janet Bjorndal. So congratulations, Janet. Her answer was the mess after making lefse every Thanksgiving and Christmas. Oh, Scandinavian there. I love it. So congratulations, Janet. $25 gift card is yours. Just email us to help@geequaltoscience.com and we will get you that gift card right away. Of course, I wanted to show you one more thing. Now, I think I told you all when we were building the house here and I was doing the landscaping, I got a lemon tree and a lime tree, which I was super excited about. The lemon tree started producing fruit pretty much right away. So now we got huge lemons. Nice. So it's pretty crowded over there, so it doesn't get a lot of sun. So they are pretty green, but they are huge. So lemons actually can be picked green. They are actually ripe when they're just big enough. And these are delicious. I had some and I can eat them. So some of them where there's more sun, they get a little more yellow, but I have so many lemons. I'm gonna leave some on because you can leave them on for a long time on the tree. So we'll have some when we get back here in the fall, but these are amazing. And
they weren't so
they
tart
taste
either.
good. So we even cut them up and you bite them and they are not as tart as what you get from the grocery store. These are just nice and sweet and lemony. And so guess what is going to be the nightcap tonight?
Lemon juice.
Lemon drop martinis. I think it's for sure. But yeah, I've got buckets. Bringing some home. All right, let's dive right into tip of the day. Are you ready for it? I think we got to dive right in. Lots to talk about. So here we go.
Where is it?
Where is it? Tip of the day. I see it. So today's tip is, of course, about quilt photography. This is something that you requested. I did talk about this probably 3 years ago on a show, and it's something everybody asks for, better tips on photographing quilts. So I take a lot of photos myself, whether that is for my pattern covers or if that is for just social media. I take a photo of every quilt that I'm working on in different stages. And so it's kind of fun to have that documentation. But sometimes if I'm working on my books or something, I might have a photographer with me, but I'm always there on the set, whether that is holding quilts or doing whatever, behind the quilts, styling them, whatever. So number one thing when taking photos of quilts, in order to get the colors, you know, a photo can never be the same as seeing a quilt in real life, but to get the colors and the fabrics to turn out as close to right or what they really are is number one, use natural light. Natural light. So bring your quilts outside. The best kind of day to photograph quilts is on an overcast day. So nothing too dark, but overcast, because direct sunlight is something you want to avoid. Direct sunlight is going to make the light colors in your quilt too bright and the shadows too dark, especially if it's not, even. So avoid that at all costs. If it's still sunny and you need to take a photo of a quilt, either do it really early in the morning when the sun is lower in the sky, or in the evening when it's kind of starting to come down. So find a spot. You can also find a spot in the shade, but you got to make sure that there's no filtering light coming through there, and you got to make sure that you are also with your camera in the shade as well. But there have been plenty of times where I had to work around these things. So for example, I went into the woods one time. We needed to get this last picture for one of my books. And so we just went in the woods and set up a little picnic. And so even though there's filtering light coming through, it turned out great. So this is our matrix quilt. So it worked out for that one. So even when I'm doing style shots of versus flat shots, I prefer to kind of see most of my quilts so you can kind of get a full feel of the design. So I like to find something to drape the quilt over, either a fence or a bench. So here is my Camilla quilt on a bench. These are the raw photos, so obviously if you see them in the books, they're probably cropped in more and stuff added to them. But this was a great one. It was a kind of a sunny day, but it was in the morning, and so we were on the right side of the lake, so we got some shade. There we have Kimberly on a perfect overcast day to take photos. The colors just really show up so much better when there is just that natural overcast light. And here is Zoe just thrown on a fence that we found as we were walking around. And so that's a perfect way. You can also hang it from a tree. Here is the things I go through sometimes on photo shoots. I had to be inside that pine tree to hold the quilt up, but it turned out to be a great shot. You'll see a close-up shot of this in my book. I found a wall, like you can find, any kind of ledge, a deck, a balcony, or if you find a cool wall, you can pin it to a cool wall. This is my crystal quilt from my latest book, and this one, it's actually a parking garage, but I really like the texture of the wood slats and then the concrete below, and it just was kind of cool. So we use that. I've put quilts on walls here and there, and I always have tools to try and either pin them up or somehow hold them up in front of a cool wall. You can get creative. Use a car. This was one of our spontaneous moments. We saw this rusty pickup truck in downtown Victoria one time we were photographing, and we just asked the owner. There was a car show about to happen later in the day, and so we just asked if we could take some shots, and it was great. And sometimes I drape it over things and you don't really know what's underneath, but that's okay as long as it works. So frequency, actually underneath there is a bicycle rack, but I really love that blue wall and kind of the flowers on the side, so we just threw it over the bicycle rack. So it doesn't matter what's behind, but you can see how I like to see most of the quilt. It doesn't have to see all of it. Now, if you don't have anything to drape over, but you like a certain backdrop, you can also just use people. So there's a couple of us behind this picture. So I just love the fountain, and I love the modern design of the windows there. It went really nicely with the Polygon City quilt. And you can see there's quite a bit of sun, but we were able to position ourselves so we were kind of in the shade, but the sun is kind of illuminating everything from behind. Even with big quilts, we can manage with two people holding them up. This is two of us holding up crisscross double toss, which was a large quilt. But behind there is me and Kara holding it up. And even one person, if you find somebody with really nice long arms, like I have on hand, Mr. HP is holding this one just because we spotted this place on the road and had to pull over for gas, and it was right there. So I'm like, I'm not letting this slip by, this cool backdrop.
I see fingers peeking over there.
Yeah, I see fingers on that one. So then, what if you can't go outside? It is pouring rain, you just want a picture, or there's just no way, maybe it's too sunny. So I recommend find a really large window. Natural light is always best. So, but do not take a photo directly towards the window. So you can see we positioned this quilt on a wall next to a window. So when you go in front of it, there's really nice natural light. So make sure that that natural light is coming from the side, and really avoid taking any photos with your flash. So most phones now and cameras really can work really well in low light. And I recommend doing that versus using flash. Flash is not really meant for capturing real color and stuff like that. It's good for faces, but that is my biggest advice. Avoid the flash at all cost. And just watch out for shadows. If you're trying to get natural light, maybe avoid also directly the sun hitting it. Just get the natural light, but not maybe a direct sun, because then you'll get lots of shadows. And so that's it. Let's answer questions afterwards. All right, so these are kind of basic tips. We might have a follow-up tip next week, because we have created this little contraption where one person can hold a big quilt. Well, Mr. HP came up with that kind of. So maybe he will have next week's tip of the day and showing you how you can make the same type of contraption. One person, yes. That's how he does his dancing quilts, pretty much, right? With the big quilts.
Yeah, that's how we do the dancing quilt.
Yes.
We're due for some new ones.
Yeah, we're due for some dancing quilts. They haven't been dancing much. Susan asked, do you worry about grease and grime? Do you use a drop cloth underneath? I usually don't. I probably would not be dragging it on where I can visually see there's a lot of dirt. But sometimes it happens. The quilts get dirty. And you know what? Quilts are made to be used. They're made to be washed. So I don't really worry about it. Of course, I'll try and stay away from any kind of grease or something that's going to really stain the quilt. Do you have a camera or use a phone? I do both. So usually when we're doing our photo shoots for the books and stuff, I use a camera. But sometimes, and nowadays, and this is what I've been told by many photographers, the iPhone cameras and some of the other cell phone cameras are becoming the best ones on the market. They have so many extra capabilities. It's really wild. So I have taken lots of photos of even just pattern covers and all kinds of stuff on my phone. And so I always take both, and sometimes we can even choose which one turned out better. So, all right, more questions. Somebody was saying, Judy was saying, I was talking about you needing a contraption, and my husband and I were coming up with ideas. Well, we'll get you some ideas for that. Everybody liked your tip of the day about hanging the quilt, so this will be perfect.
Yeah.
What is the quilt behind you with the white background? So this one is called Gina. It is actually sideways. It's usually oriented the other way. And then we have Inga on the other side. And I'll talk more about the Gina quilt and show you more pictures later, because that fabric just came in and it's awesome. All right. Any more questions? I see there's one question if the new ruler and book are coming to Iceland, and yes, they are. We're planning on shipping a shipment about middle of the month or late August. So stocking up for that fall and winter sewing. And for those of you that are a little bit confused, I have an online shop in Iceland where some of the products we have here in our online shop here also in Iceland. But the inventory is there. And my sister does all the work. All right, so on our last Friday show, just this last Friday, we released our Advent box for pre-order. Now, I talked about all of the Advent projects from 3 previous years. Now, this is something that we're going to be doing for the 4th time in December, November and December. We always have a tutorial. I have a free tutorial and a pattern for something fun and easy to do, always on the Tuesdays before each Sunday of Advent. So last year, we offered up our Advent box, which contained 4 individually wrapped packages. And in the packages were kits to make the projects. So everything you need to make it, plus a little unique gift from us. Sometimes it made sense that was maybe a tool or something you used for the project, or something fun and exclusive. But this was so popular. The boxes last year sold out really quickly. Lots of people wanted one and didn't get it. So we decided we're going to put them up for pre-order. So we are anticipating a little bit more than we sold last year, but they are flying out fast. I tell you, they're flying out fast. So if you want to snag one of these up, you can just go on the website under fabric kits and then snatch one up. Now, what's fun about it, we can open the bags together, but even if you kind of had a sneak peek, you really didn't know what the project looks like, because all that's in there is the materials and everything you need to make it. But sometimes you had to wait for the actual tutorial. So on the Tuesdays, we will have Tipsy Tuesday. We'll have a full-on tutorial for everybody, and the free pattern will be available. So you don't need to get the Advent box. That's just the extra fun, kind of like a little Advent calendar for everybody to participate in. But everybody can participate. You can use your own supplies and everything. And then if you're close by to our warehouse, we are going to, throughout the Advent season, we're going to have on our open sew days, you can work on your Advent projects and everything else. So it's going to be great. I'm excited. You know, me, the Christmas kid, I always get excited when we start talking about holiday stuff. So much fun. All right. Jeannie just had a comment. I just have to say this because thank you so much. The new book and ruler are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. They are going over very, very well. So thank you all. It's something that I think everybody's going to be using for a really, really long time. And we're going to be playing with it a lot. So just stay tuned. But another thing that started last week, if you are a part of our GEasy class packs, volume 2, which is the Lucy and the Velocity quilts, we released the patterns and the cutting instructions along with the first video this last week. So if you are already signed up, you can view that. You can start prepping your fabrics and doing all that work. And you can still join us if you haven't done so yet. So this will be 3-part series for each quilt, and then there's a live Zoom day in between, and then after we do the Velocity. So it's a project that every week we release the video, the instructions, so you're doing it in parts. It's of course always going to be in your account. It's nothing live to attend at a certain time. So this was something that we did first earlier this year, and it was really received really well, especially overseas, because you know, time zones and things. This way they could just work at their own pace, have a little bit of a push to, you know, sew along with others. And so we're hoping that more of you would like to join us. Of course, if you don't have time to work on these, I understand summers are busy, but it's a great way to just have the videos forever. So check that out. And so it'll be next week when we actually kick off the first part of Lucy. So no video this week, next week. So that's exciting. And another thing to talk about that is coming up and we are excited about is our London Calling block of the month. Now, we have been talking about the fabric kits. You had a chance to reserve your fabric kits way earlier in the year, and then we released the video and pattern package, or kind of the digital package, which is the patterns and a video lesson with each one. So that is still on a special if you want to just purchase that. And if you do want to just use your own fabrics, it comes with a fabric guide for you. And then also the thread kits that I coordinated with Aurifil Threads. We have a thread kit that contains 7 small spools, all the colors that work perfectly with the fabrics that I chose for the fabric kit. And of course, the fabric kit, if you didn't reserve one, you can pre-order one right now. We have that on the website, but if you did reserve one way back in April, you don't need to purchase because you have already reserved yours for a special time. And then here is the pattern and video package. So you don't necessarily have to have the fabric kits, but you do have to have this one if you're going to participate. Now, we won't start until October, but we are so excited about this project. And a little birdie told us that the fabrics have just arrived in the warehouse. Now, we won't ship them quite yet because there's a lot of fabric and they need a lot of cutting first and assembling. So, but that's very, very exciting. Very, very exciting.
Work to do.
Yes. Donna's asking, oh, no, not Donna. I'm just missed. Oh, Joanne is asking, what time are the videos for the class packs normally released? So we release it in the morning on each Wednesday. So it's always on Wednesdays. But usually it's in the morning. Depends on where I am in the world, if that is early or not. But usually in the morning. So if you think about Central Time, morning time, 8, 9 o'clock.
So much going on.
Everybody's excited about London Calling. Yeah, we always have so much going on. You're right, Jody. There's a lot going on. But, not everything is at the same time. So it's all good. The more quilting, the better for me, in my opinion. Donna said, I wish I had ordered the Advent kit last year, so I made sure I pre-ordered a kit this year and loved last year's projects. Yes, this year's projects are going to be great. Telling you, I've already started working on those as well. So it's going to be great. And then the Zoom call, so we do 3 weeks of the videos. So there's part 1, 2, and 3 of Lucy each week. And then the following week, we'll do a live Zoom call on that at Wednesday. So everybody will receive an email with the links and the times. And so then we do 3 weeks of Velocity followed with a Zoom session. So that's really the Zoom session is for anybody that, needs to ask any questions, needs any help. So it's really great. Oh, that's Gina. That's the pattern, yeah. So it looks a little different when it's sideways, but it uses, you can use fat quarters, or you can use a mix of 2.5-inch strips, 10-inch squares, and 5-inch squares. But of course, bundles are the great way to use for this one. And this version is from the fabric that I'm about to show you. And so we're good with questions. Any more questions? I'm not going to tell you what the Advent projects are. Specifics? Yes. So our block of the month, if you're new around here, I know we kind of talk about things very shortly. London Calling, there's no templates. No, I don't do that. There's very, very little applique. And if there is, I will do it just as a fusible applique. It's really only kind of for enhancement, for embellishments. Very little. Promise. I don't like to do that kind of stuff. So all mostly piecing. I, of course, recommend having the Strabology rulers. You can get away with, at least the XL or the squared. But I'm going to use both of the minis. So the mini squared mini and the mini quarters. But of course, I always give you instructions how to just cut those things with regular rulers. What else? All piecing. It's piecing. So if you wanted to have an idea of what we do, you can take a look at our Christmas in Europe block of the month, which was a mystery. What the real fun about it is that we're going to go on a journey together. So as we sew our way through the whole quilt, you don't get to see what the quilt will look like in the end, but we're visiting parts of London and learning about the history, and we may throw in all kinds of other things. So it really becomes an experience and not just making a quilt. That's at least how I have felt, and I think a lot of folks that participated in both of our Christmas in Europe and our Stroll in Paris mystery block of the month. They were both mysteries. And even if I say so myself, I think the final reveal of both was kind of like, oh, okay, so it was a real mystery, because even if you had all the blocks done, you really couldn't figure out how it was going to end up looking. So Gina is a single pattern, yes. Single pattern available both printed and in the PDF. How would we know about Mr. HP's show in March? Oh, we will make sure to tell you.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
probably not on their calendar yet because it's so far out, but Chanhassen Dinner Theater.
Marketing your calendar, March 3rd.
March 3rd?
Yeah.
Okay.
7 p.m.
Okay,
It's
great.
probably not on the calendar yet.
All right, Pam says that life has intervened, so she hasn't sewn in the whole month and can't wait to get behind the sewing machine. Yeah, you got it. It's okay. Sometimes stuff goes on. There was a time where I hadn't sewn anything in 6 weeks and I was going crazy. So I get it, but life sometimes has that way. So as soon as you get back to it, I know just the happiness starts building. I know exactly how that feels. It just puts everything in place, like your life falls into place just by piecing for a while.
I just remembered another thing I did on Saturday.
Yeah, you did something else on Saturday.
I recorded some drums for Lori Line.
Yes.
For her new record, but no one knows. Shh, don't tell them.
So she's coming up with she does usually every year, her holiday record. And so you just recorded the drum parts.
Just scored 4 songs. Lori Line.
We'll tell you more about that.
I think we should have Lori on this show sometime.
That would be fun.
Maybe we will.
Maybe.
I know people that know her.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Not everybody might know who she is. She's an amazing pianist, and she's probably well known in the Midwest, for sure. But yes, she's an amazing lady.
That'd be a good question of the day.
Okay, let's talk about some fabric. But before, I see that there's some questions about Fast and Furious Club. The wait will be over next week. Next week, we'll be telling you all about Fast and Furious Club. That is our monthly club for Quilt As You Go, quick and easy projects. So yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on. Never ending over here. But Fast and Furious Club, we did 3 seasons. Last year, we took a break. And those of you that were hardcore Quilt As You Go fans have been waiting for season 4. So it is coming. It is coming. It will be going on this winter, fall, winter.
There's some few people out there that know Lori Line.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Barb called me a name dropper.
Okay. All right. Well, you could drop a lot of names, but let me just stop you before you start dropping any more.
I know how to drop some. I know a few people.
You can drop a lot of names. All right, let's look at fabric. So Dawn on the Prairie is the fabric line that the Gina quilt is made out of. It is absolutely gorgeous. We've had it on pre-order for a while, and I really love the bundle. So here's the thing. I put together a specific curated bundle because the line has a lot of colors, but I chose to stay in this beautiful charcoaly brown, rusty reds, and then this awesome sagey green. And I absolutely adore all these together. So here's that main print with the green. We have a very nicely balanced bundle. So 4 of each of the colors. So here's that small floral in the green. That's a little bit spaced out, the smallest floral, and we have a medium floral that's kind of a little bit tighter. Beautiful. I love all these earthy tones together. And then the fourth green is going to be just a white on green. This is such a beautiful sagey mint green. And then we go into the rust color, the cinnamon, whatever you want to call this. We have the smallest floral, and then we have this beautiful directional print. And so I knew that there was only two of these colors in the line, so I enhanced this with two basics. So we put a pixel in here that's a little bit sharper, darker, which I love because it pulls out the other colors, and then we put it in a spectrostatic, which is that perfect tone as well. Then we have that dark charcoal-y brown. This is the main print. Isn't that gorgeous? So yes, it is almost black, but it's a really warm tone. So charcoal, I would say it's more brown than gray probably, but I wouldn't barely call it black. We have the small print, and then the medium, and then finally this awesome cross-stitch print here. So it's like cross-stitch stitches. Can you see it up close? Yeah. Really, really pretty. So this is Dawn on the Prairie, our version, our bundle. And I did a fabric pull for these colors and just kept it pretty light here. We do have two prints from the line that I did not grab with me. So let's look at those that are available in 1 yard. So we have that main print, which is called Spray and Sprig in the off-white. That's beautiful. And then we have the other one, which is the background that I used for Gina. It's called Stitch Confetti. So it has little cross stitches and then some dots. But you pull in all the colors into that print, and just a beautiful warm background. Just love it. So let's look at the other colors I pulled with it. For the greens, I did a dash flow in the meadow and a deco stitch in the laurel. Both just a tad bit darker than these, but I feel like they would just add such more dimension. And then for the rusty reds, the provisions and the sienna, which is a Tim Holtz basic, and then the 20 and the amulet earthenware. So if you were a part of Color Club when we did Red Rock, this is from Red Rock, so all of those colors would work well in here as well. For the darks, a perfect one is the pixel in the black. It's not really black. As you can see, it's more that brown tone as these fabrics are. And then I also loved the seedlings in the licorice. So a little bit darker, but it has a little taupey dots on it. So it works really nicely in here as well. As far as a background, I chose two. I would go not pure white with this. These are such soft and nature colors that I would go with a little bit of off-white or even light gray. So I found this Gala in the glint. So it has a little taupe print on it. If you look at it, it's really nice. Or I found this one, Silvery Sketchy Blooms, and it has kind of that sage green print on it. This would be absolutely stunning with it as well. Now, if you wanted to throw in some focus fabric that is not in the line, I would probably start to pull out this beautiful mustard yellow. So I found the Nature Elements Antique Gold. I love this color. This is the perfect yellow with it. Or there's also a nice taupey brown. You'll see it in the flowers. And so I love this one, the Slow Stroll Cattail Crossing in the walnut. This was a part of our willow Color Club as well. So all of the willow colors would work well in here too. So 2 Color Club colors that would really be awesome with this. But that is our Dawn on the Prairie bundle and fabric pull. Remember, you can see all of our pulls on the blog after each show. Go to the blog and you have links to all the fabrics that I showed. And you can put them straight in your cart. Now, if you're new around here, we always have a quantity discount on our 1 yards every day. If you buy mix and match more than 4, so 5 or more, you get $1 off per yard. And then if you buy 10 or more, you get $2 off per yard. All right, so let's take a look at the quilts up close. So we actually took this bundle and made 2 quilts with it. So one of them was a 10-inch square quilt called Fractions from my Stripology Squared book, and we've been having this on the set for a while. I love it. This is where you can see all those colors together, how nice and warm. We put that the main print in the spray sprig in the off-white on the back. It was beautiful with a dark binding, and this one is just perfect. Whether even though you would think that these are fall colors, these are just very in these days in just home deck. So I really love these together year round. And then we have the Gina quilt. So here's the Gina. This is just the lap size, but you can see that beautiful background fabric and just a fun play with all the colors. We actually used an autumn backing, but you can see in this close-up the beautiful quilting on it, and that background fabric is just awesome. And we took it outside on a fence, so it will tie in with our tip of the day. So love both of these quilts, but this is a great way. We got 2 quilts out of a bundle, just added background to Gina, and was able to make both. So love that. Gotta love that. All right, any questions? I know many of you were wondering about our Europe trip coming up. We actually leave next week. But so if you have any questions, throw them out there. But in the meantime, we have Colleen going live tomorrow morning. She's an awesome show, 1 Yard Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. Awesome show tomorrow. I love her tutorial and her project. It's going to be awesome. So you don't want to miss that one. And always a great deal on 1 Yards. They're always $7.99. Great, beautiful quilt shop quality fabrics that sell out pretty fast sometimes. So check it out. And then I'll tell you more about the shows. We have a 4-show week next week. 4-show week next week. But before we talk about that, let's talk about our giveaway question. So my giveaway question is, I was thinking about this because we're going to Europe. Have you ever taken a train ride cross country? So I'm not talking about subway trains or metro trains, like either cross country in the US or maybe Europe. We've done that a few times. Or Japan or wherever. I would love to hear about it. Just tell us the answer in the comments. You're automatically added to our pool, and we'll announce a random winner next week.
So where are you going next week?
We are going to Cologne, Germany first. Mr. HP has a gig or a few gigs, an amazing one. A bunch of musicians or a few musicians that played with Prince are going there to play with an orchestra.
Yep,
Cologne. In Cologne. And there's going to be over a week of rehearsals and then 2 shows and then 1 show in Austria. So yes, we'll probably be riding some trains.
Trains, planes?
I'm trying to figure out if he has 2 days off so we can hop on a train to Paris.
Oh boy.
It's only 3.5 hours away on a train, so I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see if it all works out. But let us know in the comments if you've ever done that. Oh, Diane would love to do that. Fairbanks to Anchorage in Alaska. Well, that sounds fun. That's probably going to be gorgeous. All right, so our next Happy Friday show is to this Friday, August 11th. We'll be back in Studio A, 12 p.m. Central Time. However, next week, Tipsy Tuesday, our next show is going to be on a Monday. It's a Tipsy Monday next week because we have to get on a plane that night. Tipsy Monday. It's August 14th at 4 p.m. Central Time. So put it on your calendars, everybody. Tipsy Monday. And then you have nothing on a Tuesday, but you have Colleen, of course, with her One Yard Wednesday on Wednesday. And then there's Perfect Pair Thursday morning at 9:30. Perfect Pair is on August 17th, 9:30 a.m. No, not August 17th. Oh, no, yes. August 17th is a Thursday. Yeah, 17. Yes. One Hand Wednesday on the 16th, Perfect Pair on the 17th, and then Happy Friday on the 18th, live from Cologne, Germany, everybody. Ooh. We will not miss that Happy Friday show. We'll have to miss a couple ones, but we'll still have a show. But we're hoping that you can join us. We will still be here this Friday, so have a wonderful rest of your week. Make sure you answer that question in the comments to have the chance to win a gift card. But this is it for us tonight. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you Friday, everybody. Bye.